What's up, guys? So let's answer the question, what is Archeworld? So if you are brand new to MMORPGs and you haven't played Archeage, this is very simple. Archeworld is an MMORPG that is using the play-to-earn aspect, meaning there's cryptocurrency involved that you can earn in-game and then sell it to make money. It also gives you ownership of your items and vehicles and currencies in the game. So a standard MMORPG does not actually give the player ownership of their items. The game company actually owns all those things. So hence why it's called New Beginning Archeworld. Where it gets really confusing is when you've played Archeage before, because what this game is essentially Archeage repackaged as a new game. It's changing up quite a bit of the systems in the game. One of the most important changes is to combat bots. So they're requiring pretty much every player to own a house of some sort, whether it be a tent, a house, or something like that, to pretty much get the currencies that they need to upgrade their gear. So you're going to get Archeum. You're going to get this incomplete Archeum, these shards and dust, and then you're going to take those shards and they're going to put them into this Archeum workbench. And then after 12 hours of time, real time, it's going to pop out the actual pure Archeum. And this is what you need to upgrade your gear and progress your character, and also to upgrade pretty much everything in the game. So that is the biggest change, is that you have to use all these kind of new systems to prevent bots from farming the world. And you're like, well, bots can just trade things, right? Well, no, that's also in this game. And there's no player-to-player trading. You cannot trade anything at all. The only way to do this is by purchasing, buying, or selling on the auction house. So almost everything can be traded on the auction house. So we talked about these incomplete Archeum shards, and they're really worth nothing unless you convert them into Archeum. But they do have a sell price, so you can sell them to the vendor to get some gold out of it. But you can also put them up on the auction house. And the players that have invested more money into the game, so aka pay to win, will actually have bigger houses and better Archeum producing machines. So everyone starts off with a level 1 Archeum producing machine, and that's going to cost you 5 gold. As you upgrade it, it gets more and more expensive, but you'll be able to produce more and more of this Archeum. So over the long run, your earnings will essentially be a lot higher. So those are some of the factors that are in this game to prevent bots. So bots can still farm this Archeum stuff, this incomplete Archeum from mobs, and you can still get coin purses and things like that. But another system that they implemented in this game is that in order to progress, you essentially have to level up all of your gear. So if you only level up your weapon, like in standard MMORPGs, where you're like, I'm just going to level my weapon and I'm just going to face smash all the monsters. Well, that doesn't work here, because if you just simply level up your weapon and just focus solely on the weapon, you're going to be missing all the monsters like all the time, because there's this stat that is called, invalidity, and it makes you miss. It's like a resist. If your combat power overall, like all of your gear, is not pretty much equal to the level of the monster, and it's over here in this stat page here, so you push C, your character sheet, and you'll see, so 41. So if we're not fighting monsters that are around level 41, we're going to miss like crazy, and we're not going to do hardly any damage to them, and they'll probably kill us. That's just how the game is designed. So in order to raise this, we need to increase and level up our gear. So it's going to be incredibly hard to do this, because to do that, you need Archeum. So in order to do this, you kind of need to have a house. So a free-to-play player, yes, the game is free to play. You can play free to play, but you're going to get stuck around combat power around level 30. As a free player, you probably won't get past combat level 30 unless you start investing some money into the game. There's also a ton of systems that require you to, purchase something, but they'll give you all your money back. For example, there's this daily quests. It's called Arc Pass, and you purchase it for 1,000 blue salt. That's the cryptocurrency involved in this game. We don't know how much it's going to cost, because it's going to be supply and demand based, and there is going to be some sales from the game company. But so you need 1,000 blue salt to actually activate an arc pass. You click on the arc pass and you're going to activate it. You're going to get missions. And then once you finish all of the missions, you're going to get all of your 1,000 blue salt back as a final reward. So it's kind of like a buy it once, and then once you finish it, if you actually complete all the missions, which there's no time limit on the missions, you can complete the missions in 1 month, you can complete the missions in 3 months, in 1 year. But whenever you complete the missions, you'll get your blue salt currency back. And this is also, once again, a botting technique, because if the bots want to actually earn some of these really good rewards, like there's a ton of Archeum here, there's some labor, there's some skills, some gear upgrading things. If you actually want these rewards, which if you're playing the game, you're going to want this stuff, you're going to need this stuff actually. So the bots, they're going to have to spend money. And then the game company will eventually come around and kill the bots. The game companies do kill bots, and they do ban bots. So if the bot has invested money, premium currency into the game, and then they ban them, that currency is lost and the game company has just completely won. So it's a very, very high risk for the botting company to actually come in and play this game, even though they in theory can earn more money, but it's just bots have a very, very difficult time in this game. So the map also is slightly different for Archeage players, but if you've never played Archeage, this doesn't change. This doesn't concern you. But different zones have different areas now, slightly different, a lot more housing zones, and then also all of the land is now actually predetermined. So these are the big changes of Archeworld versus Archeage. Is it a good MMORPG? Well, that's up to you. So as an MMORPG goes, the content is incredibly small right now. There is literally only a couple of things to do. One is mob farm. 2 is play around with your house and upgrade your house and upgrade your things. And then 3 is do the rifts and PvP. So open world PvP, that's what the heart of the game is. And whenever an area goes to war, then you're going to want to come in here and do a rift. It's going to spawn a whole bunch of monsters, some bosses, and it's going to be a kind of big free-for-all. So generally a bunch of raids party up and then go and fight these monsters, and then another raid will come and contest the other raid, and you'll have a 50 versus 50 PvP battle, or maybe a 50 versus 50 versus 50 PvP battle. So it is pretty cool to see these raids in action, and the raids are definitely quite fun. But essentially that is all the game right now. It's open world PvP, and then it's building up your character, and then it is doing the housing situations. For content-wise, that's about it. The ocean is here, but there is no boats. You can have a rowboat and you can have a submarine. Those are the only naval boats that are involved. There's a ton of content that if you actually want to play an MMORPG, you should probably play Archeage and check it out, because Archeage has a bajillion things to do, so much in there, whereas this game is very, very limited, and like I said in the beginning of the video, is pretty much a revamp of Archeage. So Archeage controversially didn't do that well in the public's perception, but overall it was an incredibly profitable game for XL Games. They've built a legacy off of Archeage, and now they're trying to redo it again, nearly 10 years later with Archeworld and make it better, but they're starting off at 1.0 again. This is version 1. They're not adding all the content that was in Archeage. Slowly over time they'll add more content. And of course, with the crypto version of this game, they are doing a lot more of voting rights and actually listening to the players. So already in the Discord, we have, a voting contest on what content they want to see, thumbs up, thumbs down, etc. And that's only going to expand further. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check out some of the other videos.